This is Rob Liefeld. Kai Reviewed is going down.
Hey guys, just finished watching Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6, Episode 12, The Sign, and Season 6, Episode 13, New Life. This is a big last, 2-hour special and stuff, or pretty much 2 episodes just aired back to back and stuff. So, oh my god, what an ending to this season. So, let's just jump into. There's so much stuff as to where things are going to go, but this is a great ending to this show. Kind of confused as to where things are going with this, especially how this kind of ends, and with the where things are going to be left off, with how things left off in Endgame. You know, are we getting closer to that? I mean, we did have this whole. I think they did say at Comic-Con or that season 6 and 7 are both going to be before Infinity War or anything like that, so they didn't have the scripts or anything. But I feel like at some point, you know, maybe not this one, but maybe definitely the season 7, maybe halfway through, or at least most of the way through, they probably at some point Endgame came out, and that's where they were able to do it. So maybe at the end of season 7, when they end the show, they can end it in a way to kind of, you know, bring the characters to around that. But we'll get into that, where the connection to the movies and stuff to the end of the end of this video. I mean, there's no connection, but it could be closer to leaving the characters open to be connected to the movies type thing, which could be fun. So we start off in the episode 12 with we see S.H.I.E.L.D. takes Flint. You know, she made Flint reappear, or the Monoliths made Flint reappear based off of Mac and Yo-Yo being there and stuff, and she takes over his body using his powers to create the Monoliths again. So that was really cool. We see that May still holding out hope that Coulson could survive, could still be safe inside of Sarge. And then we get a few shots of Quinjet's landing and some Shriek flying around, and the CGI was just so terrible. Yet later on in the episode, we do get a CGI, which I'll talk about later, that's really, really good. It's oh my god, that's great CGI. They didn't, it's obviously, I mean, you could, it's CGI because they didn't, I don't think they made the actual person wear that, but it was very well done. I think that looked really cool. Whereas the CGI, the Quinjet's landing and the Shriek running around, flying around S.H.I.E.L.D. outside there, they looked very obviously CGI, and it just kind of bothers me that we're not supposed to notice the CGI is fake. It's supposed to be good CGI. I understand, you know, trying not to compare, you know, big budget versus little budget. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to all be the same. I think I want to stop comparing. I want to stop not comparing the TVs to the movies. I want to start comparing the TVs to the movies, and vice versa, because you have shows like Daredevil, which, yeah, they don't need a big budget or CGI or anything like that, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter out there. We want to push the TV genre level so they can push it up and put more money into it and make it look better. So this CGI should not look fake, and it should not be able to tell that it's CGI. So that just pisses me off, and I'm just starting to get pissed off with that, and then no longer going to accept just cheap TV CGI. I don't care anymore that they don't have a big enough budget to do it. Find it, you know, to make it look better. So that's what I really want. I want to push up the TV genres to kind of, they need to be competing with the movies, and I think they should be competing on that level of everything: acting, production, writing, CGI too. And I think it's about time they do that. They turned, they talk about how they turned all those knives that killed the Shriek into bullets, but they never really mentioned how many of them, which is kind of weird. I wish they had said, you know, because at first, I think they only had a handful of them that they took off of Sarge and stuff, and a briefcase full, and then one big sword, and that was it. So they had maybe 4 or 5 knives and a sword, and then they said they got more knives from Sarge, which we don't know how many. It would have been nice to know, oh, we got a few more crates of them, you know, we got, you know, how many knives, and then how many, you take one blade from one knife, how many bullets does that turn? Does one blade equal one bullet? Obviously, I feel like not, because it sounds like he had a ton of them for them to make a ton of bullets. So I would have liked to just a quick, there doesn't need to be an accurate, but just a quick idea as to how many bullets they were able to make with those blades type thing, or with the bullets. That just would have given us an idea as to how many bullets they would have had. I think it would have been cool just to have, it would have been nice to have a nice idea, because it seems just a bit too convenient for them to, oh yeah, we just turned them all into bullets. Not going to tell you how many, so we can just shoot as many as we want, right? Not really care about it, right? So I don't know. I think it would have been better to know, get an idea, an estimation of how many bullets they made. So we see that Deke So we found out that Deke secretly had his team that his company's been working in one of the rooms in the lighthouse and stuff. So that was really interesting with that. And then he jumps, he's yelling with his grandparents and stuff, and he jumps to Mac and Yo-Yo, and it works with his backpack jumping type thing. That was what the aliens had, I think, in last season. So that was really cool there. We see that S.H.I.E.L.D starts her ritual type thing, starts her singing and humming, and builds with the monoliths and stuff, and builds like a portal. We see Sarge, she's on top of her about trying to kill her, and he just can't kill her. That's when Sarge stabs May with a sword through the chest, through the body, and pushes her through the portal. We jump into the next episode, episode 13, New Life, and we see Fitzsimmons watch this whole thing, watch her die. But that was really interesting. And then we see that the Chronocoms arrive at the base. They start attacking all the Hunter Chronocoms. And we see, then later on, and in the ship, we see that May, we see Yo-Yo and Daisy and Mac, they're all in one of the Quinjets, the van, I think, the bus, actually. And she's shooting these bullets. She's not necessarily faster than the bullets, obviously, but she's able to shoot one, then fire another one while it's only a couple of inches out of the barrel, So I think that was quite interesting, cool, seeing how fast she was. And then a few seconds later, she wasn't able to catch. A shriek got inside of her, which I don't know. I mean, maybe she needs to be focusing before she was able to do it. But it just seemed like the time that it took her to like activate her powers when the zombies came in with guns before they even fired. That second that they took, and yes, they're zombies, maybe they take a second or two. It seems really close to the, a shriek flying around, her seeing it, be able to instantly react, and then, turn on her powers and start, dodging it type thing. So that would have been kind of interesting to see that. It's just kind of inconsistent a little bit there. She does explain it later on, but it just seems a bit, she should have been able to outrun it and see it coming and not get affected by something like that. She did get possessed by what's her face, the S.H.I.E.L.D before, but she would, like, when she got possessed, she was trying to protect. A few episodes ago, she was trying to protect Daisy and stuff. So she shouldn't really be, if S.H.I.E.L.'s going after her, she should be able to dodge her. She should be able to dodge a shriek, unless she was, protecting Daisy and wanting to get possessed type thing. So then we see that May is still alive and walking around. We find out it's because, she's in this other place, this other dimension where life and death is meaningless, so she can survive there. We find out that Enoch shows up and saves Fitzsimmons and tells him he has a plan that'll fix everything, but they got to change the natural course of their lives forever. And they both look at each other like, nothing we haven't done before, right? So that was kind of interesting to see where things go with that in the next episode and in the rest of the season. We see Daisy ends up blasting Sarge, revealing his true identity, which kind of looked really interesting. He looked like some sort of a Chitauri looking character, and I think the CGI on him was very well done. So I guess they did do a good job at prioritizing maybe their CGI and making this reveal of whoever inside of Sarge type thing, his true look, his true identity, making that look really good. They did a really good job at doing that. And then, the episode before, having the Quinjet landing looking fake and having some shriek looking fake, that I guess was okay. But I don't know, I just kind of would like to see these shows push their CGI and everything, making it on movie level quality, because it's just about time. I just don't want to stop watching these garbage CGI effects on here. But the look at the reveal of Sarge's true identity looked really good. We see that Mac ends up cutting him in half with the sword, and May returns on the other side, back to our side of the portal, and because she does that, she dies in Daisy's arm. And that's when Gemma shows up, and everything is all, she's like, yeah, we got it, we're going to save her. And, I guess they've been playing with time travel. She doesn't know where Fitz is, she can't know. So it seems like, things have really changed about them, but yet she's still, in love with Fitz, or things like that. So they're still kind of the same person, but she's kind of on a mission type thing. So I think it's a little bit interesting playing with that, how they changed their course of their lives forever, but it didn't change the person themselves. So I think that's really good. They did that. They didn't have another situation where, she left and lived on a planet and their relationship is instinct. So I think their relationship is still going to be strong together. They're still technically married and all that stuff, but they're just not hanging out together. So I think that's really going to be cool playing with that. We see that they're in the future, so that's where it's going to be quite interesting to see as to where things go with that. Are they now 5 years in the future, connected to after Endgame? Or are they, if this is taking place before Infinity War, like where are they? Are they way in the future? Are they 10 years in the future? Are they 5 years in the future? Are they 20 years in the future? 100 years in the future? Definitely can't wait to see as to where things kind of go with that. But playing with the time travel, having that option in there, I think it does open it very easily to ending the show after next season, setting it all up so they can be picked up. These characters can be plucked out to go into other shows type thing. Could be quite fun. And then we end the episode with a reveal that they made a Coulson LMD, since they need his memories for the knowledge of S.H.I.E.L.D. history and all that stuff. Since they're going to be fighting, I guess the next season's villains will be the Chronocoms hunters type thing. So that'll be quite fun playing with that, and having an LMD Coulson, you can take him and put him into all the other stuff and just say, yeah, he's a robot, of Coulson type thing. You don't need to explain it to anyone. If you put him into, you can put him into Falcon and Winter Soldier thing, and then, I guess Nick Fury can just get up to speed, by Mac or something. Falcon and Winter Soldier never really met, Falcon and Winter Soldier never met Coulson. Who else? There's not the only person who would remember Coulson would be Natasha. She's dead. Clint Barton, the only person left after Endgame who would recognize Coulson if they did took him from after season 7, put him in the movies or put him in the Netflix shows, would be Clint Barton and Hulk and Thor. And there's only 3 people in the Avengers superheroes who actually really still know who Coulson is type thing. So that'll be quite interesting to see as to where things kind of go with that. Maybe he could appear in the Hawkeye show. I doubt that, but I think it could be quite interesting. Now it seems like there's some openings there to leaving, you pretty much just have Coulson back, but he's a robot type thing. So it's just like it's the exact same Coulson as there was before from when we started this show, and you don't really need to know anything more after next season. At least we'll see how things go with that, but he'll just pretty much be, it's a robot version of the same Coulson type thing. That could be really cool to go in. You don't really need to watch that. And then if if they take this Coulson, they put him into Falcon and Winter Soldier, Wanda and Vision, or one of those shows later on, you could just literally have a pop-up on the corner that says, he says something about, oh yeah, I'm a robot. And then it just pops up on there just like it does in the comic books when they reference where certain things happen. If you're watching an tie-in issue, they reference the issue, right? The little pop-up could pop up, and then you can just click on it on Disney Plus, and that would bring you to that exact episode, that exact scene where it's revealed that he's an LMD, right? That could be quite interesting with that, playing with that there. So definitely can't wait to see as to where things kind of go with this. Hopefully, it seems like they're slowly setting this up to potentially jumping towards leaving them at an opening at the end of season 7 that allows them to be used by by Marvel Studios and some of the other stuff. And they don't need to be on full-on even supporting characters. To even just have them as background characters would be amazing, and give them like one line here and there would be awesome, just to keep the characters safe. The characters are still out there, still doing some stuff, working for S.H.I.E.L.D. later on. Definitely can't wait to see where things go with that. So let me know what you think, guys, about this ending for this season in the comments below. How do you think would you like to see things end in the next season? And how would you like to see these characters finished in this next season so that they can be picked up and you can pluck these characters if you need. If you need a scientist from S.H.I.E.L.D., that you pick Fitzsimmons, You need, you need someone to train someone, you pick Linda May, right? You need someone who has a knowledge of a lot of stuff, you pick Coulson, right? This LMD Coulson, that could be really cool. So definitely can't wait to see as to where things kind of go with this, and hopefully they can, like I said, leave something open leave the characters open to reappearing type thing. So let me know what you think, guys, about this in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
We're here for Kyle Reviewed on YouTube, the very best Kyle Reviewed channel on all the YouTube Kyle Reviewed channels. You got that? You got that right? Thank you for watching Kyle Reviewed. Deadpool and I thought it was fantastic. You need to like, you need to subscribe. You know how it's done. Like, subscribe. Right, DP? All right, Kyle Reviewed. Cool channel.